If you want to learn more about how you can max out your inner ways as fast as possible, then this video is for you. We're going to be talking about every single thing you need to know about inner ways. And most importantly, we're going to talk about trying to get as many inner way notes as possible so that you can upgrade your top inner ways to tier 6. As you can see on the screen, every time you upgrade a new tier of an inner way, you pick up additional passive buffs, and they could be potentially game breaking with your damage output, survivability, and just help you kind of get over that hump in case you're stuck in certain PvE or PvP content. Some of these, like Echoes of Oblivion, really ramp up at tier 6 and it's pretty game changing, while others, like Fivefold Bleed, tend to be a really powerful choice earlier on in your Where Winds Meet progression. And when you get towards the end to tier 6, it isn't as impactful as some other inner ways out there. But regardless, once you have 4 inner ways that you really want to focus on, the ultimate goal is to do what you can to push those 4 as quickly as possible to tier 6 so you can pick up all of the unique bonuses. These are very, very important. I don't care if you are level 20 or 80 or anything in between, you should be focusing on ramping up your inner ways. And in order to do that, you need notes. To be a bit more specific, you need a certain note for the specific inner way you want to upgrade. One of the best things you are going to have to do in this game is this tips exchange process, and it's very important you understand how exactly it works. The first thing, though, is of course you need to pick up some inner ways to begin with. I highly recommend that you utilize your energy as much as possible to ensure that it never maxes out at a full 550 and just do different activities because they all tend to provide unique inner way notes, kind of like these chests here, where you can open them up and select a certain martial style of inner way notes to pick them up and potentially upgrade your inner ways. So you can do campaign challenges, you can do forts, you can do bosses. You guys get the idea. And then the other thing, if you guys don't already know, and again, 90% of you guys should be doing this already, but in this shop right here, you should be purchasing both of these inner way note chests every single week. It's an easy 40 chests and could definitely help you develop your character insanely. Again, every single time you get a chest, it's game breaking, it's worth the investment, and it helps you potentially get your inner ways to that next tier. Once you have a initial bulk of inner way notes, then you're going to have to jump into your inventory and recycle some of them. And I'm going to show you why in just a second. What I like to do is I pick 5 or 6 inner ways that I'm keeping my eye on and I lock them. When you lock them, they're on the bottom of your screen right here, and you can't recycle them even if you wanted to. It just gives me peace of mind and it just makes this process a little bit faster because you will be doing this for a while. So on the recycle screen, what you're going to be doing is basically recycle every single inner way note that you don't plan on using. This will bump up the vintage book plates you see right there and the quality of the inner way note. For example, this purple one provides a small handful and this gold one provides a little bit more, will impact how many bookmarks you actually get. So let's say I am going to go ahead and do this. There we go. I have a handful of these book plates. From there, I can exchange them for these different types of chests. Now, I've already bought out these bamboo cut ones, but there is this custom swap chest, which you guys should be trying to purchase as much as possible every week because it gives you more inner way notes. And right away, you can see that I have a handful of these that I actually do plan on using, but there's still a good amount that I don't. I actually got so many that I could actually upgrade this evasive charge one, but again, I'm not planning on using this. So it's not worth wasting them, in my opinion. You might as well recycle them and cross your fingers and hope for the best that you actually get some inner ways that you want. So, what you'll do now is just go through that process again, recycle them all, and then purchase more of these chests and hope for the best. Again, a lot of you guys may already know about this process, but I did want to call it out up front because you guys cannot avoid this. You guys really need to be using this every single week as much as possible to get your inner ways maxed out as quickly as possible. Next up in this video, though, I'm going to be highlighting a handful of sources of how to get more inner way notes. So basically, how can you feed this recycling machine? I know a lot of you guys may not be aware of it, but there's actually a lot of things you can do in the game today to farm out these inner way notes. Before I do so, though, this is a friendly reminder to like and consider subscribing if you actually enjoy this content. Okay, now that we've got this out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into some more specifics on how you can actually start farming out these different inner way notes. First things first, there are a handful of NPCs in the game that you can actually just walk up to and purchase the different notes from. I'll go ahead and open my map right here, but this is the first one you should be focusing on. And again, a lot of you veteran players probably know about this one, but there are a few other ones you should be aware of. So if you actually interact with this NPC, you'll be able to purchase 10 of the Morel chant pages, which is game breaking. Again, most builds are actually using this today. So if you haven't already, make sure you purchase those 10 as soon as possible. If I open my world map, there's two other ones I did want to call out on. The first one is right over in the second region, right in the city. If I scroll in a little bit, right here, you can see that there are a handful of inner way note chests you can purchase. So again, make sure you purchase those as quickly as possible. Plus, you can pick up some lingering melody and cross your fingers that you get lucky with some gamba. And the other one is right over here, right near that teleport shrine in this location. And there are a ton of unique notes right here. And you should be purchasing all of them, again, even if you don't even use that specific note, because you can recycle them to fuel that whole recycling process. There are a handful of morale chant notes here, which again, a lot of you guys will be utilizing. But even if you don't use things like the seasonal ledge, still buy it because you can actually recycle it and go through that process that I showed earlier on. Next up, I know we talked about challenges already and like just using your energy, but in the top right corner in this menu right here, there are a handful of mini challenges that you can actually complete. And I highly recommend you do these as quickly as possible. They're very, very easy to do, and the rewards make them definitely worthwhile. To be a little bit more specific, let's go ahead and jump into the rewards. You can see you get a handful of coins and then also Echo Jade, which will actually help you get enough to purchase those notes I shared just a little while ago in this video. But that's not it. If you kind of go over to the path trial icon in the top menu there, you'll be able to see that as you unlock more of those diamonds by completing more and more of the challenges, you get even more rewards. So that means not only more Echo Jade, but directly more inner way notes. So again, if you guys haven't already, make sure you grind out this section as much as possible to help you progress your inner ways even further. Next up, there are a few different things I did want to call out here, and the first thing is the battle pass. A lot of people don't really focus that much about it, but there are daily and weekly and even phase specific quests that will give you a big chunk to go towards your battle pass. I highly recommend you try to do these and max out your battle pass as quickly as possible, even if you are a free to play player, because it can directly lead to more inner way notes and then a bunch of other goodies. Just to talk about what I'm talking about right here, if you scroll all the way down, you can see I do have the premium battle pass, but again, that doesn't really matter in this case because all the goodies are in the free one. As you progress, like at level 10, you get a handful of inner way chests, which is great. You'll continue to get more and more on that free one. And on the premium one, it's important to note that there are no inner way chests. There is no pay to win type of approach to this. So again, make sure you grind this out regardless of if you're paid or free, because it's worth picking up the extra inner way notes. Next up, as you explore the open world, you're going to come across NPCs that have this little icon above their head. If you do, stop what you're doing, start talking to them, and ask them for a taste. At this point, you'll have the option to purchase different food options that they have. And as you purchase these foods, the top left corner, that progression bar of their friendship, will increase. You want to max out the friendship as quickly as possible for every single NPC that has this icon above their head in the game. The main reason you want to do that is not only to get your hands on some great herb gathering food, but also you'll be able to unlock inner way note chests for every single NPC that you max out to friendship. Plus, you can hear about their life story as well if you're just interested in kind of like some lore and background information, kind of like that. But again, stop what you're doing whenever you see that icon and go chat with them. Next up, if you open your primary menu and go to events, there's almost always a handful of unique events. Some of these are time based, some of them are not, and a lot of them offer unique currency from doing certain event specific activities. With that currency, you can usually purchase a handful of cosmetics, but many times there's also inner way note chests available. So, again, make sure you go through that events menu every single day almost just to make sure you're doing the daily activities and unlocking all of those inner way chest notes that are available in the game. There's also a handful of other goodies that are usually going on, and there's usually multiple events going on at the same time. This game really does love events, so make sure you take a closer look and confirm that you're just not missing anything, because you could be missing out on some very easy to get rewards. Also, you should be going to this menu anyways for your daily login bonus, and many times these daily login bonuses provide inner way note chests. So even if you're taking a break from playing, it's worth logging in once a day just to claim these daily rewards. And that really covers it. Again, there's still multiple ways you can kind of grind out for different inner way notes, but long story short, this is a grind. It's not going to happen overnight, and you should be utilizing events, your daily login bonus, and a lot of those time specific activities to make sure you are slowly but surely building up your inner ways and getting them to tier 6 as quickly as possible. If you guys found this video helpful, be sure to give it a like, and also considering subscribing for some more Where Winds Meet content coming soon. Thanks again, and I'll see you later.